Post-Mortem-Mass-Murder. The service that will include oversight and allow victims it will inspire society to behave like, quote, civilized human beings. That inspiration that comes with knowing there will be consequences, like including your life. If you don't do your job, if you don't behave. So the list will just accumulate right up to the victim's death. And then when the victim's life ends, there will be this service set up and there will be oversight. The service will have oversight. So that way they'll review the list and the explanation, and that's going to be, well, I guess it's kind of like the, quote, how the, quote, justice system was formed. But this will just be, this will just be because obviously the, quote, government is so ill-equipped. They're still stumbling over themselves and bickering, and this will just break through the bullshit. So it's the people's way of inspiring, quote, we'll have to think of another word for justice also, because that word's done. That word's like madame, or in the days where beaver cleaver, that word's done. So this will be it. The service will be called Post-Mortem-Mass-Murder. A service to ensure civility. So this way, for instance, the victim at least has some peace of mind that it's kind of like donating your money to a charity, right? Yeah. And then there'll be oversight so that it will get done. Otherwise, the layers will continue. It has to do with death. If you don't do your job, you get killed. Then the sufficient layers continue. So that way, those people that think that it's just a-okay to keep shitting on the victims, they'll think twice. They'll think more than twice, actually. They'll behave differently. They will behave differently, knowing that if they play these BS games or want to come up with these BS excuses or think they're going to play the quote system. I guess it's kind of like what Christian people think about, like, having some consolation that the sinners will end up in hell. This is going to be, yeah, the concept's the same. It's just, this is really going to happen now. I think I'm going to write a book, or maybe a movie. The movie will be called Domestic Violence. Post-Mortem-Mass-Murder. Service specials available now on the dark web. Obviously, it's a good concept because as I think about it, it's the same concept. So there you have it. The evolution of domestic violence, where victims who can afford to, who are not black or brown, it's like every other service we have to pay for these days in order to keep thugs and predators in place. Stay tuned. It's going to be on your video cell small screen coming soon to a bathroom near you. So all of those thugs and perverts and predators can watch it and possibly have a wake-up call. All. It'll allow them to bust through their bullshit thinking. When your life is on the line, it changes people. We see it all the time. That's when they become boo-hoo babies. The tough guys all of a sudden become boo-hoo babies. Yeah. Like, I wonder if he had his eye bashed out. Watch. People say to me all the time, ooh, I could never do that. Oh, I could never wear contact lenses because, ooh, I can't touch my eye. What the fuck do you think they would do if they got their eye bashed out? What would those pussies do? I'd love to see what they would do. How would they survive? And Floyd's fucking brother wants to ask a whole bunch of fucking questions. What do I think, Floyd, felonious, bullshit fellow brother? I think your brother was a fucking felon. I think your brother was a violent thug. I think your brother was a danger to society, and I think we need to get the fuck off the police people's back. Because if society wants to keep siding with felons like Floyd, this is what's gonna happen. The black people think it's such a great fucking idea to start mocking the people at the Capitol that believed in Trump. Well, guess what, black people? And when I say black people, I don't mean the people on the streets that are equally as innocent as the white people that got misled by their white leaders. This is about the black people that know better, that end up on television like condescending, smug niggers talking about, ooh, yeah, you did the same shit, you dumbass, fucking hypocritical niggers. Floyd was a fucking violence against women abuser. He was already in prison for 5 years. Now that's pretty good, because in our system, you can bash someone's eye out. You can cause $2 million of damage, which doesn't sound like anything compared to Floyd's GoFundMe page, which got his felonious brother $20 million in a pop. But according to the antiquated system, when somebody embellishes or breaks or steals or destroys $2 million worth, it was considered significant in the old days, according to the quote justice system, which is supposed to represent the people's values. It's supposed to keep society safe and protected from felons like Floyd. Spare the bullshit. And by the way, as I think about it, Floyd's brother, he's just another thug. He's just another pawn. It's Crump that's setting him up with these bullshit lines. We have got to get to the core and to the root of this bullshit. And it's got to stop on both sides. Otherwise, there are going to be little people like me that are going to be the next sprouted domestic violence sources that it's going to take you idiots a long ass time. Long before I'm dead and $2 million worth of you are dead. There are people out there that understand basic right and wrong, and they are fed up. And even the attorney generals, the black attorney general in DC wants to have a civilized conversation about the people versus hate. Yeah, this is when it becomes uncivil, you smug nigger. This is when we start reinventing ourselves. It just happens faster these days. We just get the word out faster. We just get spun up. We're just in this unusual time where you can keep playing these motherfucking games and you're gonna end up dead. This virus is gonna be dwarfed. You fucking idiots are playing your fucking political games while those of us out here are getting motherfucking fed up. And yes, it is both fucking sides. And guess what? You know damn well what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So we better start having some earnest investigations right now. You better start pulling your fucking system together. You better start having some bipartisan get together, because black and white have one thing in common, and that's red. And in this country of red, white, and black, you better set this straight. Because this is how angry people get. I can't even stand the sight of a fucking nigger on the screen anymore. And the reason is because it's bullshit. The reason is because I already was a victim of this. Of these black motherfucking men that want to fucking wield their power to the innocent, vulnerable women. How dare you? How dare you be so dumb? Floyd was a fucking felon. He had drugs in his system. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, marijuana, morphine, and to top it all off, he tested positive for COVID in his autopsy. So that would be the reason why a cop would have to have him in his prone position. And guess what? There's a possibility that Chauvin was set up as well. Whether it be by the Russians, maybe he was paid. Just like you're finding the people at the White House were vulnerable when they had bankruptcies or financial trouble. All these themes are the same. It's what I heard about for 4 years regarding Trump. I don't know the truth. I just know what I hear and what I see. And what I read and what information says. I know one thing. I've learned the concept of blackmail. I've learned the concept of victims. And the concept of how blackmail happens. It's when people are vulnerable. It's the same story. It just keeps getting taken to levels beyond belief, new levels. So the only chance we have before you start creating a whole new generation of dangerous haters that are gonna go after the black people with a vengeance. Oh, and guess what? The innocent Jews that are sitting on the sidelines, you don't see the Jews out there protesting and beating down people's storefronts and demanding shit. But guess what? The extreme Ku Klux Klan happens to fucking have a problem with the Jews too. So there again, that let's stir in more reasons why we would hate the black people. Because you're endangering a whole innocent sector of society. Extremists on both sides. They're fed up. They've lost hope. We better have a very serious fucking get together. I was going to say come to Jesus, but you know what? We really have got to fucking watch our words. Because unlike the thugs that think that words aren't enough, they do matter, and they do make a difference. And as everyone's consciousness is getting, not everyone's, obviously not everyone's, but the people in charge of overseeing the safety, even for a long time now, it keeps just ping-ponging back and forth. Okay, blow it up. It's the concept of our foreign policy that you didn't ask the people, should we give aid to the foreign countries that are suffering? We didn't ask the people. It wasn't a vote. Because you don't expect them to understand that level of sophistication. So why then are we having Floyd's fucking brother? Why are we allowing Ben Crump to puppeteer to the point where he gets to continue to come on the screen? Did we not just learn our lesson? No, we didn't, obviously, because now look what happens. This is how angry people get when they see it's continuing. And it is continuing, because I just had to listen to Floyd's fucking brother. And I have to catch myself and remind myself, it's not his fault. He is one of the bumbling idiots. He is a pawn that is being played. The difference is, then I have the follow-up. The black newscasters that keep wanting to mock the white people at the Capitol. And that is where it becomes dangerous. Because there are people out here that are watching this, and it is bullshit. That is why you're not going to have policemen show up, you fucking morons. And they are going, yeah. You know what? Here's the other problem. Let's think about this. The people that are ill-equipped yet equally dangerous. It's unintentional. But here's the other problem. What state did Floyd happen? In what state did this whole Floyd thing happen? Now, let's think about it. I was a big fan of Amy Klobuchar. But now that I know that her daddy grew up in the coal mines and was an alcoholic and a school teacher mother, and they all put up with this bullshit, she is ill equipped to handle this. It's probably what cost her her run for presidency, and it was actually that's good because she's not equipped to be the president of the entire country. This is dead serious. So let's just focus on our current situation at hand right now. And that is, this Floyd thing needs to be investigated and it needs to be exposed, and Trump needs to be crushed. And it needs to be publicized, because otherwise there is such a stirring of hate currently going on right now. And it's becoming more and more you're focusing on the immigrants. Homeland Security directors and everybody better be all hands on deck and setting the record straight. We are in a very serious crisis right now, and the black situation better get reeled in as well. I guess that's what it does come down to, is black and white. And now I can see how it is that this Floyd thing, I cannot even contain myself having to see his brother on the television being interviewed by two other black people. I don't even know what it was like before, but I can't even stand the sight of a black person on the television screens anymore. Look at my commentary feed. Look at the commentary feeds of people on Google. Well, they probably know better than to say anything on their commentary feeds. But the black attorney general, you want to know where hate comes from? It starts with your condescending little conversations that you have amongst yourselves, where you both pass the subtle white guy, senior attorney general that's calling you the champion of the people. That's a dig. That's a subtle. That's the seeds of hate. Okay. So then, the black attorney general, now he becomes president of their little association. And what does he want to do? Oh, he wants to wonder about the source of hate. And then he wants to talk about how he thinks he had to go all the way to Israel in order to have him feel nauseous and sick. Yeah. You notice he didn't have to go to the streets of the ghettos. He had to somehow refer to the Jewish children in the concentration camps. What's that all about, I wonder? Black privilege? Yeah, This is where hate comes from, you stupid nigger. It comes from smug black people like you that how soon you fucking forget. That now you think you have to do an investigation to find out where hate comes from, you idiot. The people versus hate. And then the white moron. Oh, we went down and we, you know what? Get the fuck out of the past. Everything that is being quoted from the past, obviously you did not learn your lessons. And you're teaching your children the same bullshit. This is where hate comes from. This is how it happens. It's within a year. Well, at least a few years. But within a year, actually. No, within a year. On the anniversary of the fucking Floyd fallacy, fictional, that the Democrats are going to continue to think it's a good idea. This is where hate comes from. And let's take out all the formalities of Mr. Attorney General. You're a fucking immigrant that should know better. And you do know better. You're just acting stupid. You all know better. These things aren't coincidences. And the people are fucking filled to the brim with hate. And the least among you are going to continue to get annihilated until it's going to start that the biggest among you are going to get annihilated. And then all your fucking funny little games aren't going to seem very worth it, are they? Because the people are fed the fuck up. Perhaps this could be called kiss ass to killer. You know what those... Floyd was a fucking felon. He had drugs in his system. He was tested positive for COVID. Brooks was another domestic abuser. He was on probation. He wasn't allowed to have any drinks in his system. He was cheating on his wife with his girlfriend the night he got passed out drunk in his car. He fucking played his daughter that he already had criminally abused. And then Blake, again, same story. You are putting up sexual abusers, domestic violence, criminal. And this is not about black. It is, though, about plenty of black women, too. It's not about black. It's not about any colored skin. It's about these people are the predators. And the police know these predators. And you are not going to continue to put these predators as prioritized over the police. Wake the fuck up! How dare you! This was a political stunt. Floyd was a bullshit political stunt. and it shredded the country. Nearly $1 trillion worth. So shut the fuck up with your peaceful protest bullshit. Kamala Harris, you fucking know what's going on. And you played the political game, but now you better fucking call it off. If Biden is a black bitch, then you better set him straight, because you know damn well this is fucking wrong. You know damn well this is wrong. I know you're smarter than this. I know you're smarter than this. Talk to your husband. Talk to your husband. He knows. All in your little microcosm. You don't have to look any further than your own family. The part of you that is black is stirring up the extremists that are going to your husband is Jewish. You don't need to drag the Jewish people into this. You need to fucking cut it off. Have an investigation. Delay this Floyd bullshit, because it is the people's house ain't nothing compared to what is erupting in the streets. Use me as a case study. I'm ready to leave my entire fucking $2 million inheritance that I worked my whole fucking life for. What if your name was on the list? And no, this isn't threats. This isn't threatening anybody. This is a wake-up call. This is a desperate wake-up call. This is a brainstorming session with myself. Because all of these bullshit systems are ill-equipped right now. They're fumbling all over themselves. And before you lead more mobs into what will undoubtedly be another bloodbath, shut this down.